Hello again, Alex from Barefaced here with Lewie wielding the guitar, and we have a smaller cab for you. Look, it's down there. So that is a custom white one. We haven't got the grill on at the moment because we just put the driver in, and yeah, the person who's bought that cab is actually sending us a EVM 10 speaker, bit of an oddity. So that hasn't arrived yet. So in the meantime, as that's sitting around doing nothing, we thought, well, let's use it in a video. So that has now got a G10 Vintage in it, which is our standard driver in our 10s. There is a choice of some other Celestion 10s, but there aren't many of them. I think there's a greenback, a creamback, a gold AlNiCo, a 1030, which is a lightweight, sort of cheaper one, and is that it?
Is that all Celestion offer? Is it
all the ones that we've bothered offering of
fine.
Celestion's range that are good enough. Oh, we're going to try a 10-inch Neo one to see if that works well for jazz guitar. So that's just arrived.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so that is the Upsetter 110 with a G10 Vintage in it, and the other cab is our Reformer 112. Just so you know, if you're new here, what's different about these little cabs is they've got our patented AVD in the back. It's no longer patent pending, the patent got approved, so that lets sound from the back of the cone out and round the room, so it's our augmented vent diffractor. And we make the cabs cleverly using this fancy plywood. This is an offcut from the inside of a grill of one of the bass cabs, isn't it?
Big baby.
Or is it one of the guitar? Could be.
Oh,
I don't know.
big baby.
Anyway, this is an offcut, but it's nice, stiff, lightweight plywood that we have specially made for us in Italy, and it comes over and we CNC machine it using a rather nice piece of kit which allows us to make the cabs lighter, stiffer, better sounding. That's the key, better sounding
that's
in the real world.
But they are also light.
Yeah, but they are amusingly light. I mean, this is a proper light. One finger lift, not even thinking about it.
What does that weigh, do you know?
Don't know.
I know what they are off the top of my head. It's on the website, but
It's amusingly light. It's quite a lot lighter than the 12-inch one, which is also
is.
amusingly light.
I think that's just down to the driver, though, isn't it? Really, because there's not much difference in the box size. Really.
You're right. There's not that much less wood, but
terms of mass.
it's quite. The magnet on the G10 Vintage is quite a lot smaller. I noticed that when I was looking through the specs. So I will wave this bit of plywood around so you know which one you're listening to. And Louie's going to do some guitar wielding, and we are currently on the Reformer. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, they do sound different.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, top end. Like, I'm just so used to the V30 now. I'm just every time I play it, I'm like, that's a V30 because it's just got that hair, that bitey top end, which you can control. Obviously, not sure that has it in the same way.
This seems a bit more band pass. It doesn't go as low, doesn't go as high.
Totally.
Might slot very nicely in the mix.
Yeah, but it's dependent on genre again, isn't it? What
Yeah.
what you're trying to, your role is filling.
It's not. Doesn't seem as rich or as full sounding.
Well,
Sounds drier.
How much of that is like I said earlier, as a guitarist, I think everyone thinks from like a musical setting, we think of a single 10-inch driver as boxier sounding. That seems to be the go-to word that people have decided. It sounds boxy, whatever that actually means.
I know.
How much is this difference down to the driver difference and what, like driver size, driver type, and box, like a different box?
One of the nice things about the AVD cabs is they don't tend to have that annoying boxy thing, which is literally from the resonances, the standing waves inside, because it's got they've got these angled panels inside them for the AVD, so it really makes it very non-cuboid-like inside. Yeah, play some more. I'm curious.
Yeah.
It's nice hearing them head to head.
Okay.
Now I'm getting used to it.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's really good.
Chords. As soon as I went to chords, I was like, oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
I think if I was doing rhythm stuff, that's absolutely killing.
Also, I think that's got more air on the top. I think that goes higher. I think that's got bite in that bitey place. You know, that pick attack, that lower treble.
Yeah.
You know, I can't make that noise.
Not particularly pleasant kind of thing, almost.
But that's chunkier.
100%.
That is a lot chunkier.
That's like for that stuff. Yeah. I think like.
I tell you what, though, I do think
detailed.
Yeah, and I do think that if you're playing live.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? Actually, I mean, I'm a bassist, so I might be prejudiced. But if I was in a band playing in typical little venues without great PA systems and stuff like that, I think you could end up with a better band sound quite a lot of the time from the way the low end on that is less full. It's less fat, and it leaves room for the basses and lets you slot on top. Think of how Jimmy Page's sound in Led Zeppelin works a lot of the time. Yeah, it's that thinness, but it doesn't sound. It might not sound as. It certainly doesn't sound as nice and full on its own. But I think in the context of a mix, I think it could often work better.
Are you going to get lost though if you're turning up with a big twin, and I'm turning up with that?
I don't think so. I think that's going to cut through.
Do you really?
Yeah, I really do.
Interesting.
I really do.
Are we still in this at the moment? Because this is now really nice and clean and chords, I'm kind of interested in the disco thing. I'm figuring that's probably going to be better. I'm loving that for that.
Are you?
Totally.
I prefer the Reformer for it.
That had too much top end for me.
Oh, I like the bite.
It's all just opinion, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It's just preference. Yeah. I was loving that for me. That just does that.
That had that.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's that drier versus richer thing.
Less harmonics?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing now.
Yeah.
It's not that...
Yeah, I think it sounds more like a guitar sounds unplugged.
Interesting. Interesting take.
I think that sounds more valvy and richer.
Because
I've done a lot of...
Agreed.
I've done a lot of playing instruments unplugged. It's something I tend to do with electric instruments in quiet rooms. I just can't be bothered. I just want to play the music as opposed to play the sound.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm loving this. It's great.
As you can probably guess, because of what the guitar world is like, we sell way more 12-inch cabs, the Reformers particularly, than we sell 10-inch cabs, the Upsetter. We gave them names because, it's just more fun having names on things rather than just... Also, we make bass cabs as well, so if we just call them 10s and 12s, we'll get really confused because we make people... Then you're like, well, what do you want, the bass ones or the guitar ones?
Numbers are boring as well.
I think they're all... Yeah, they're all about revolution, one way or another.
Reforming, upsetting.
Bob Marley albums and song titles and various things like that.
Yeah. I wonder why we sell so many more 12s. I think people have that expectation of
what a heritage thing, isn't it?
Sound, do you think?
Guitar things. I think I've often thought that the guitar world is and the gear that is used in the guitar world, and not without good reason, is a bit like everyone driving around in modern versions of, well, not even modern versions of classic cars, just classic cars that are still being made today.
Yeah.
What's in the bass world, we spent this, I wasn't alive in the 60s and only caught the end of the 70s, and I certainly wasn't playing bass then. Spent the 60s and 70s battling to get heard and tolerating less than ideal tone a lot of the time.
Right.
And then through the then there was all the techie gear in the 80s, and I think finally in the 90s it started coming together, particularly with companies making specialist speaker cabs, specialist speaker companies.
Yeah, sure.
Plus power became easily available, so I think bassists started being able to do what they wanted tonally, and also experimenting more with instruments.
Sure.
I know bassists are even more like tied to Fenders with jazzes and precisions.
Yeah.
Than guitarists are tied to Fenders, because actually Gibson have a big foothold in the guitar market, and Gibson theme stuff, and pointy stuff and stuff like that. But in the world of bass, people have been playing all manner of weird things for years. 5 strings, 6 strings, fan frets are now very popular, particularly in heavier music. But guitar, we still go back to the Gibsons and Fender alikes.
The brand new designed guitar, and it looks like the Strat. Do you know what I mean? That's how little we've come.
Looks like a Strat, sounds like a Strat. It works. Yeah. It works.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I will say, guys, if you want to downsize,
get both. Depends on the gig.
The 10s are fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to do some more videos demoing the different 10s.
Yeah.
Have we got any more sounds you want to hear with these? How have we got? Do you want to go? Have we gone dirty enough?
No.
Let's grab the Les Pauly type guitar.
Let's go dirty.
You can tell how well scripted this is.
Oh, it's kind of nice at the start though, because then we don't know what we're going to actually get from it.
Don't know if the strap's at the right length, but I have put the whatnots on to stop it falling off.
Yeah, that'll do.
Those rubbery things. So that sparkly strap is officially tied to that guitar. I don't know if it's still in tune. We'll soon find out.
We'll go with that. It's the same as the cleans. Yeah, I totally agree. It's cool. I'm a bit surprised actually.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, I have a 212, so this is a further thing away from what I regularly use, and it's killing.
It's good, isn't it?
It's really good.
You're going to need one of those for your gigs where you're not noodling.
Yeah.
So convenient.
What are they? Yeah, no, it's true. That's awesome. Well, there you are.
Your Fuchs head would look really silly on top of that. You'll have to turn it on its end.
My Hughes and Kettler's about the same size as that, so again, different rigs for different purposes.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, isn't it?
That's cool. So just if you're wondering about this thing being white, our standard colours are British Raging Green, I've remembered what we called it, or black. You know what black looks like? Black. With silver or black cloth grills. But you can have any other Tolex or cloth if we can get hold of it. It costs more because it's quite a lot more work to get hold of it and do it differently and stock control and making sure everything's right. And you'd be amazed how much materials vary in their properties.
Oh my God.
Lewie has Tolexed many cabs and will...
The grills as well, that Vox cloth.
Yeah.
It took me and Ben like 6 times to get that stretched. It was horrendous.
And was that it's not taking up the slack?
It doesn't stretch in the same way.
Yeah.
And it's like changing guitars, your muscle memory is suddenly just not correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, slow work.
Yeah, 'cause
They
we
look
do
cool.
make the stuff here, you know.
Yeah.
It is handmade gear. So yeah, G10 Vintage in an Upsetter 110 versus Vintage 30 in a Reformer 112.
Yeah.
I think, well, I know that's a 60 watt 100 dB speaker. I think that's a 60 watt speaker as well. I think it's the same size voice coil, just different cones, smaller magnet.
Sure.
The magnet is quite a lot smaller, which is I think there is a bigger percentage change in the magnet between the two drivers than in the cone size. So the change in magnet should actually be more significant than the change in cone, but we just think of them as 10 versus 12.
Okay, right.
So there's quite a lot going on, but it is Celestion's attempt to make a 10-inch version of the Vintage 30, and knowing how strange guitar speakers are in what they do, and how they break up, how they don't perform. Yeah. Actually, I think this horrible, dented,
G10.
crumpled mess.
G10.
I think this was the cone out of a G10
Yeah, it looks like a G10.
Sorry, it's got a bit crumpled. It was obviously got blown or something happened to it.
I think that was one of the damaged ones when they arrived.
Oh, it's shipping damage. Oh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, this was damaged, so we cut it out to have a look at it. Quite a big voice coil for a guitar driver. That voice coil, former spider, tinsel leads, cone, dust cap, which has been dented inwards, but it shouldn't be inwards like that. Oh, I can push it back outwards. There we are. Dust cap. Dust cap is back out where it should be. Yeah, so that's the cone, but they ripple and they shimmer. You know, they're only strange papery cardboardy stuff, or you know, cellulose composite.
Obviously.
Yeah, there we are. But they do cool stuff, so it is quite hard to pin down what's actually going on. Anyway, that's enough of 10s versus 12s for now. Yeah. We will be back. Look, sparkly new guitar, matching watch. You know, we are coordinated.
Accidental.
Rock and roll. See you next time.